Hello everyone, this video is something a little bit different for me. I haven't done this before, but over the last couple of months I've tried some new makeup products and skincare products, and I thought I'd give you a little rundown of the 3 that I'm loving and the 3 that I'm hating. So we all know that when you buy new things, sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes it works out amazingly. So I thought I'd share with you the sort of things that have worked out beautifully and the things that are probably going to go in the trash. I am a creature of habit when it comes to makeup especially, so I don't tend to try a lot of new things all the time. I would rather just sort of spend my money on something that I know is going to work if I've had success with it before. But I have had a couple of new additions, so let's see what they are. I'm going to start with the loves. Firstly, I am really loving this retractable eye pencil called Mr. Right Now by the Balm Cosmetics. I always like to use a liner on my waterline, be it nude or white. I go through phases of which I prefer, but recently it has been definitely more of the nude. But I just haven't had a good nude pencil. My favourite pencil for my waterline is Makeup Forever Aqua XL, which only comes in a white, but it is waterproof and it comes on really nicely and it stays quite well. So when I saw that the Balm Cosmetics had, I'm pretty sure this is a new product, had released Mr. Right Now, which is a retractable eyeliner pencil, and in a nude, I thought, well, that could be worth a shot, because typically retractable pencils are a little bit more of a oily formula, so they're not as dry, they go on a little bit easier, and it is amazing to just be able to swipe once over your waterline and actually get a good transfer of product. So I'm really loving this. It does stay on pretty well, probably not quite as much as the Aqua XL liner by Makeup Forever, just because it isn't a waterproof one, but I am pretty happy with it and it's become my go-to since I bought it about a month ago. The next product is a little bit more specific to you redheads, but when I was in Sydney at Boya Hair a couple of weeks ago on my Australia and New Zealand tour, they had this product, and it is a root touch-up for your hair. So it's for when you've got grey hair coming through, and you just use it, it's like a little mascara wand, and you just use it on your hair. It's called Grey Free by Giuliano, and it's an auburn colour, but when I looked in it, I mean, auburn you kind of think of like a dark, kind of coppery brown, a bit of a redness to it. But when I looked at it, I was like, that is so super like kind of coppery. And I was like, well, that could probably work for my eyebrows. So Susie from Boya was very kind enough to give me one to try, and I actually really love it. I've been using it just on my brows. After I filled them in, I use it basically as like a brow gel, because it does have a little bit of hold. But what it does is it kind of just helps to give me that copperiness to my brows that I love, without necessarily having to keep up with dyeing them, because I do like to dye my eyebrows, but it grows through so quickly, like it's like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and it's basically already gone, because I think the cycle of eyebrow hair must be quite a bit faster. So this is a really good product for just being able to fill in my brows that little bit extra, create a little bit of depth, create a bit of definition, and also give me that coppery colour. So yeah, root touch up for my brows. Perfect. And my final makeup product for my loves list is actually Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. So I have heard so much about this product, and I've been meaning to kind of try it, but because I have had good success with quite cheap drugstore kind of makeup brands, I use L'Oreal a lot, I was sort of going, well, do I really want to spend that much on a foundation? But when I was traveling and was able to get it duty free, I thought I'd give it a go, and it can always, even though it is more expensive, it can just be like my sort of special occasion foundation, if you like. But I really like it. It's very buildable, it creates a very nice sort of velvety base. It doesn't feel too heavy, and it seems to last really well. I've been using it with the Professional Primer from Benefit Cosmetics, which is silicone based, and this apparently is water based. Well, that's what it looks like from the ingredients list. So I am interested to try it with a water based primer, because ideally your primer and your foundation should be the same, so either water or oil or silicone. So I'm interested to try it with that. But yeah, I find it stays matte really well, and it doesn't go too cakey like kind of later in the day. I use 1C2, which is Petal. In MAC I am NC15. and it was a little bit tricky to get the colour right because it was like hideous artificial airport lighting, but it does seem to be the right colour. I'm wearing it now, and it's just a nice like kind of cool tone without it being kind of too yellow or too pinky. It's a good kind of neutral. So yeah, I'm really liking Double Wear by Estee Lauder. The only thing that I did wish is that it came with a pump, because when you are pouring this out onto your hand or onto a sponge, it's very easy for it to go everywhere. So I will be trying to find a pump that fits it. I think you can buy them from Estee Lauder, and I believe also the MAC pumps also fit it. So yeah, I just wish that it came with it, because you pay that much for a foundation, it should come with a pump. Okay, so that was loves. Now it's on to the hates. First up, if you've come to any of my classes or workshops, you've probably heard me talk about how if I can get something for a cheap, like a drugstore brand compared to like a more expensive brand, then I will definitely do that. Like, I don't really buy into the whole brands thing. However, sometimes that fails. So before I had discovered my Grey Free Auburn Brow Gel Root Touch-Up thingamabob, I was looking for a new brow gel to replace the Benefit one that I had used up, and that had lasted me like a solid year, so it had done well. And I thought it'd be cheap and try the Maybelline Brow Drama. And it was a complete fail. So you can see how the bristles kind of go into like a little rounded shape at the tip there. What that does is it makes it really hard for the product, which naturally kind of stays along the base of those bristles, actually onto the brow. So I found it really difficult to get enough product on to make a difference. And also, once it was on there, it didn't really seem all that stiff, and it didn't actually help that much compared to the Benefit one that I was using anyway. So that was a bit of an epic fail. It wasn't very expensive. I think it was about £6, but yeah, it was a little bit disappointing because it was actually also just really hard to find when I went into Boots and Superdrug. Just really hard to find a transparent brow gel in some of the brands. There wasn't a huge amount of choice. But anyway, that doesn't really matter anymore because I've got my fancy little root touch-up. So my next product is a hate, because it's not something that works for me, and I'm a little bit annoyed that it was sold to me when I think the lady should have known that it wasn't going to work for me. So a few months ago, I went into the Murad counter in my local John Lewis. Murad is a really, really great skincare range that I've been using a few different products of, but I wanted to completely switch over my entire skincare to Murad. So I wanted to get myself a cleanser and a serum and, you know, like an eye cream, just kind of have the full kit that was all going to work nicely together. And I told the lady, you know, what my skin's like, that it's a little bit oily in the T-zone. I do have quite open pores kind of around here, and then I'm prone to acne. And she recommended a couple of different products. The moisturizers and the eye cream that she recommended worked out really, really lovely. But the cleanser and the serum that she recommended did not work out. So she recommended me getting the Environmental Shield, which is the orange range in Murad. And so I got the serum and the cleanser. Now, at first, I thought it was working quite well, and then I ended up getting a few breakouts, and then after a few weeks, I got like this really like kind of bumpiness around like my top lip and on my nose. And when I went and got a facial while I was in Auckland at the Casey Clinic, which uses Murad, so that's why I went to them, because I was like, well, they're using the products that I want to use. So I was chatting to the beautician, and I was telling her what I was using, and she was like, you should not be using Environmental Shield if you're prone to acne. That range is not good if you're prone to acne, and I think what you've experienced is that you're having a little bit of a reaction to it. So I had to ditch it. I gave the cleanser away, and I kept the serum in the hopes that maybe I could use it every once in a while and it wouldn't be a total waste of money. But I have used it a couple of times since then, and I still get the kind of bumpiness, so it's definitely a no-go. So it was just a little bit disappointing that I've been recommended a product that perhaps that first lady didn't have the right product knowledge of it to be able to give me the proper recommendations. So a little bit of waste of money, but I've replaced the serum and the cleanser with other ones from the Murad range, which are working out really well. It's been about a month, so I'm happy with those ones. So my final hate, and it pains me to say this because I really love the Balm Cosmetics Meet Matte Hues lipsticks. I'm wearing one now. It's called Loyal. If you want to watch my swatch video and review, I will link it at the end of this video. But I decided I wanted to try a new colour, and I went into a shop that was selling it when I was in New Zealand, and I wanted something a little bit soft, a little bit bright, you know, like kind of not a red, not a pink, and I looked at Honest. And I put it on the back of my hand and I was like, you know what, that looks really nice. I think that's, you know, that doesn't look like it's too orange, you know, because it is a very kind of corally colour. But the problem is that when you test something on the back of your hand and then you put it on your face, it's always going to look different. That is exactly what happened to me with this colour. I put it on the first time and I was like, this is coral orange hideousness that does not look good with my hair. It's just not me. So that was disappointing because I really wanted it to work, and I really do love these lipsticks. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do let me know what you think in the comments box down below. I am going to put the full names and links to these products down in the description box, just in case any of you want to try anything. I mean, I haven't exactly sold the Hates ones quite as much, but some of you might be thinking that they could work for you, even though they didn't work for me. So I will put that in the description box below, so have a read through of that, and I will see you next time.